sir.
Dave Genet.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, Council. Dave Genet from Crimewatch. I think I just got some good news from Laney, because it didn't sound like good news last week when you voted on the proposed budget for this afternoon's session. Accountability, something we all want, something we all need. And I hope that we're right, that what's going to happen here is going to see that coming our way. You know, we're strong proponents of our police chief. We've heard about Nextdoor and its 30,000 members. Be talking about that on the next item. Here's our police chief asking a question that many of us, and even you, have wanted to know for years. What kind of policing does our citizenry want? There's a survey. They had to shut it down the next day because there were a lot of derogatory comments. We're sad to see that. But we'd still like to see the results of the survey. We'd also like to see the 2014 annual report from the police department that we were refused to receive information from to be ready for the budget hearing for our police department. Ladies and gentlemen, why? Why is the Public Records Act not sacrosanct when it's part of the California State Constitution? Yes, 311 is great. But without accountability back to your customers, what kind of customer service is it? Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Well, that was fast. You know, I thought there'd be some discussion on this budget. Oh, well. Nextdoor, we talked about that a little while ago. Now, I've been chastised by my community. I'm a lead, Boulevard Park. Our nearby neighborhoods, there's 4,330 members. They say there's 30,000 members on Nextdoor. Police chief talks about it playing a significant role in our city. We like to think it does. Now, there's the numbers, but you see, I have to be honest with you. I believe in ethics and I believe in transparency. Only 54 people voted on this in the last few days. 54 out of 4,330 in 8 nearby neighborhoods. Yeah, I'm disappointed. You know, I looked at a couple items, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about this later on, but it's about 1996, 1997, ladies and gentlemen. You'll notice a name down here. You could zoom in on that a little bit. You'd see Sergeant Jacqueline Dowden. Back when we had POP and NPOs, and we solved neighborhood problems by working with our police officers, 646 of them. 20 years later, 100,000 more citizens, and we've got 632 police officers. And you wonder why we can't solve neighborhood problems. Chief tries. There's not a man or a woman on our police department that doesn't want to bust their hump to help us. And you come forward with 15 restored police officers after 200 and some odd cut, plus another couple hundred of the civilians that support them. But hey, we got enough money for 18 new or restored park positions.
We need your final thought, please.
Accountability and transparency, do we really have it in Sacramento?
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Problem solving. Last few weeks we've had an inundation of folks who are less fortunate, have no place to live. We have programs for them, one that's received $18 million since 2011 called Sacramento Steps Forward. I had 2 people come here that were homeless. They haven't been able to get any help. That was, what, a month ago? They're still trying. They still need housing. These folks are coming out into our communities. I deal with them at night, sometimes 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Here's a solution. We've gone over it with our police officers. We hope to have a conversation with the city attorney, because this is a real solution. There's only one problem, and I experienced it at 3 o'clock in the morning on Saturday morning, trying to help a neighborhood with this problem. I spoke to our patrol sergeant, but it wasn't our regular sergeant. She was backfilling. Later on that morning, that sergeant had to cover districts 1, 2, and 3 because of shortages. So here's the solution, but it takes a police officer to come out and make sure that this gets served and nobody gets hurt. Do you know that 90% of the time when I ask people to move along, they do? Why? My approach is kind. If they're a veteran, we offer services. But they understand. They can't camp out on Dave's property or Mr. Winger's property or Ace Hardware's property or the Jeremiah property. You see, I'm the agent for all those properties when they're closed at night. So this law can be taken care of. And people kindly moved along the way. But it takes a police officer to make this happen. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, Mr. Mayor, when there are no units available citywide because they're cleaning up after bars, this can't work. Please, properly staff our police department. Thank you. Watch that. It's much more interesting than I am. You probably can't see that clearly. Chief, this afternoon, I apologize a little bit for being harsh at you this afternoon. 18 minutes for Measure U, an hour and a half for Parks and Recreation. What is our city's #1 priority? I mentioned this afternoon that when I first met with Junior Captain Rick Brazil and Jim Hyde, I said, how in the hell do you have the highest clearance rate of any police department in California with 646 police officers? How the hell do you do it? You know what our population was then? 377,000. What's our population today? Growing by 100,000, hasn't it? It took some effort to get the results from the public records request, and I didn't get it all. I'm still waiting for it. But right now, as of last month, 632 sworn police officers in our city. Less than we had 21 years ago. I'm out on the street 2 or 3 nights a week with these officers from 10 o'clock at night till 3 o'clock in the morning. This officer is dealing with something that one of your sergeants posted on Nextdoor last night. They're losing so many bikes on the street, they're now becoming second-story artists, ripping off high-end bicycles on balconies on the second floor right here downtown.
David, we need your final thought, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We need more officers. We need hotspot policing. We need to get more communications. And please, don't make me have to go to court for public information that our citizens need to know. Thank you.
Daniel here?
Daniel had other commitments tonight, ma'am.
Hey, Dave Janae?
Cool. And if you'll bear with me just a minute, please. I'm here in part because we try our best on Nextdoor.com to dispel rumors. There was a rumor out in the community tonight that we're going to have a session that Mr. Chenier was going to bring up, abolishing the camping ordinance. Obviously, you can see that our community has mixed feelings about that. However, Sunday we celebrated, or 2.5 billion people celebrated the hope and the answer of resurrection. Billions of people around our planet, our neighbors, our world community believe in redemption. Folks, there are some lifestyle is chronic. I'm changing up because I got a lot of information that I wish we could have gotten Friday. We probably have more people to come here and thank you for what we're looking at. But there are a bunch of people in that room back there who've been besmirched. I've been out in the street with these people. California Highway Patrol officer, our Crimewatch team, and a homeless person saved this homeless man's life as he was looking for shelter. It's ugly out there at 3 o'clock in the morning. You folks need to get out there with our police officer. George Chargan, 21 years, most of that working the homeless detail, has probably saved more lives than all these social services combined. We have a female bike officer who is now working a detail. I've been waiting for the chief, for the press release about what Michelle Lazark is going to be doing with a unit that's going to deal with our chronically mentally ill folks out here on the street. I have witnessed firsthand the compassion of police officers in this city time and time and time again between 10 o'clock at night and 3 o'clock in the morning when we used to patrol these streets 3 to 4 nights a week.
Okay, Joan Burke and Patty.